But speaking of companies that are keeping things quiet, except when they're not, Nintendo. Nintendo has announced that we shouldn't expect any updates about the Switch 2 or whatever they decide to call it until at least the end of the fiscal quarter, which would be probably around spring of next year. But in the meantime, they're giving us things like a Nintendo alarm clock. They have their own version of the Nintendo app where you can listen to Nintendo music. And I know I brought this topic up before, but do you guys feel like Nintendo, I get it that they're quirky, they do their own thing, and mostly kind of works out. But seeing how the Nintendo Switch is so close to matching and possibly surpassing the PS2 in all-time sales, does it feel like Nintendo should be doing this a little bit more to kind of squeeze like just that last bit of juice out of the Switch and like really give it like an amazing send-off?
No, I feel like they've gotten to the point of complacency, like especially due to the current market between the other two systems, that we're just going to do our own thing. We're just going to rely on whatever, games come to the Switch as well to keep people happy. For example, the Marvel vs. Capcom collections, and also other things. And then we also got to really look at it. And one of Nintendo's biggest flagships took a hit, Pokemon, due to Power World. That lawsuit, bro. That is a real thing, bro. Because this game, Power World, and especially since like the other bigger companies is coming to consoles, that's a big slap in the face to them.
Yeah, you actually have a legit challenger to your throne in this genre
on other platforms, and you just. And you already know, but the microtransactions for that or however that works is going to be insane.
It's about to fund about 5 expansions.
It's like, so Nintendo, I think they're not trying to show it, but they're scared.
You think so?
I think they are, in their own type of way. When I say I think they're in a state of like stagnant paralysis. Like, when you're tired, but you got stuff to do, but you just delay the whole week.
That's me every day, Tim.
Yeah, you get a Publix sub, you get Krispy Kreme donuts, you get that gallon sweet tea, and but you got other things to do.
Yeah,
I feel like that's where they are right now, bro. Because when you really look at it, yes, people are happy that certain games are still coming to the Switch. They've even tapped into the whole remake, remaster department of some fan favorites. Because to be honest, bro, like if they drop like digital versions to Pokemon Coliseum, they know Pokemon fans will be happy. Because people have been
just
demanding
get an affordable version of Soul Silver, I'd be happy. But go on.
They've been, bro, and because they know for a fact that, if you got that Pokemon itch, take this. Just give us those specific games, and then they'll be quiet for a while. Because to be honest, bro, I do feel like they are in a very stagnant place of they're trying to figure out how to conquer this Power World situation, bro. I really do.
I think that's
and
interesting.
Especially after, and I will also conclude this, especially after the recent Pokemon leaks of past generations of what should have been in the games. Fans are upset.
And certain things that shouldn't have been in the game.
So fans are saying like, bro, y'all robbed us for many years.
What's that Pokemon name, man, that people don't magically know, right?
Yeah, no. There's certain lore that are like, hey, I'm glad I hit the cutting room floor. Let me just say that.
Yeah, but that was wild, bro. That was wild.
It's like, all right. It's interesting you say that though, because I feel like this is a moment where you're right in the sense that like maybe Nintendo doesn't need to push on the Switch, but they should feel challenged in some ways, right? Like Power World, to your point, you look at the Steam Deck, bro, like I would say in a year or two, especially if they can find a way to make things like the Steam Deck, things like, was it the Risis or whatever it's called, more user friendly, let me say out the gate, right? Where like you wouldn't feel like you're about to have a heart attack if you put a Steam Deck in your nephew's hands. It's over. it's over.
Yeah.
Like you got a handheld that's more powerful, can do more. And if I really wanted to, I can yo ho ho on a bottle of rum the Nintendo games anyway. Like it's kind of like, I feel like it's not like so improved right
I'm
now.
a Gold Roger that thing, boy.
Sail the seven seas on that, on those IPs. I think you do have to kind of remind the general audience in some ways that it is your creativity that has seen you through up until this point. And I don't know if dropping Alarmo or like the Nintendo version of Spotify is how you get it done. But S-Rank, what are your thoughts on that?
Just bro, like, what are we doing, man? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Nintendo's doing what Nintendo feels they have to do. I personally just not really listen, Nintendo, do you want to win or not? That's what it is. That's my thing. And
Mm,
so I'm sure they want to, right? Because you have two contenders, man, that's giving us choice. You have the Steam Deck. I've got my hands on one. I've touched it. I said, yo, you know what? This is doable for people, right?
mm,
Say if you're say for example you happen to be in the gaming and you're a videographer, right? You got your camera. This isn't gonna its size isn't gonna bother you at all.
mm.
You know what? Say what if one day the Steam Deck decides to basically also help you as an HD screen on your camera? Like you just hold this stand up here, and what if they decide to find a use for you?
Yeah. What if
Like,
you
oh
can
man,
like
now
successfully stream and screen record off of Steam Deck? That opens
yeah,
up. I can
that's oh
on the
man, we
go.
on the go I could stream straight up connection like Nintendo. You did what you're doing what Blockbuster does.
Mm,
Everybody will play VHS. DVDs will always be around. And Netflix shows up, hey man, can we join up with you forces? Because we think this is actually gonna work. Nintendo, you did it before, and now you have PlayStation, which is monument, a beast, right? When
yeah.
it came out, right?
Yeah.
You did that to Nintendo, right? So you did that, you created PlayStation in a
Yeah.
way. So
That was a crazy like. So for those who
um
don't know, essentially PlayStation was supposed to be a Nintendo product originally, and Nintendo. I forgot who the company they ended up banding with but they basically did a bait and switch with Sony at the last minute, which then forced Sony to kind of make their own system, and the rest is history. But it's just like they were looking to come like join y'all, and you were like, nope, and now you created your own competitor, basically, which
created
is
your own
wild.
competitor. Created your own competitor. And yeah, like you have the ROG Ally, the Steam Deck. There's a new one that came out not too long ago. I gotta go see what that one's about.
Hmm.
Um, you're basically gonna become, and if God forbid, God forbid, Apple decides to go into the console business and decides to just do, you know what? We don't have to make a home console. We can do what Nintendo's doing a little bit better. Let's do that.
Hmm.
God forbid, right? I'm hearing rumors Apple's considering it, right? You could
Hmm.
play Cyberpunk now for on the new Mac M4. So like there it's there. It's gonna
Hmm.
evolve.
Because
It's gonna evolve.
to Tim's point, I think the thing that Nintendo has always relied upon, and understandably so, it's their IP, right? So when you've had such a long run with Pokemon, when you've had such a long run with Zelda, when you've had such a long run with Mario Kart, right? You've had these certain genres on lock and key. Why? Because every family in America and outside is gonna want to play Mario Party when the kids come over, or their cousins, or their nieces, or nephew come over, want to run a couple matches of Smash Brothers, right? It's like you have all these like party kid friendly IPs, but to Tim's point, it's like, well, what happens when a company smartly challenges part of your audience of like, you guys never ever fully embraced the aging Pokemon fans. You always kept taking it back to formula, back to the same old, get these badges, collect these cute looking household creatures, and do it all over again, right? Versus, yeah, we don't need, again, Pikachu with the Thule, but here's another avenue for people who are still into creature catching, but they're in their 20s and 30s, right? So what happens when you get Breath of the Wild's, I don't know, whatever version, right? Or what happens
Crimson
when you,
Desert.
yeah, no, yeah,
And if
absolutely,
that
right?
delivers
Or
curtains.
not for nothing, Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
I keep seeing more and more and more and more people getting onto Monster Hunter.
No, Monster Hunter is perfect for casuals. It's perfect for casuals. People who complain about it, like I'm like, yo, play it. I had the same complaints. Play it. You
Mm,
play it, you're like, yo, you know what? This is actually very satisfying. And it don't have to be as long as you want, like you think it is. Like that's because, you know what I'm saying, that you don't it's not gonna be that long. It's depending on how you play and how you choose to fight.
yeah.
That quantifies how quick you can change the outcome, right? It could be a 15-minute battle,
Mm-hmm.
and that's dope. If you're not that good, it'll take some time. If you don't
Yeah.
choose not to listen to the game's advice, it'll take forever. Dark Souls does not tell you to play the game with 1 HP and no armor. They don't tell you to do
That
that.
is a choice.
You
You
do
are a
that. That's a
sadist.
choice. You can literally do Shadow Clone, right? You summon the bell after you get your mimic
Jump
tier.
from no
Show
jitsu.
up after that, yeah. And you could give your mimic tier obelisk the tormentor summoning ring. You can
Mm,
go ahead and give it the Noctis ring from Final Fantasy 15. You can do that.
mm.
You can summon your Jimbo in the game if you want to. They give you
Yeah.
options. It
So
doesn't
yeah.
have to be a nightmare. You know what I'm
So that
saying?
I'm saying,
So
imagine a Monster Hunter with the level of crafting that you find in Breath of the Wild. Now what happens? And now
imagine a
Capcom doesn't
Monster
want to
Hunter.
pay friendly anymore. Now what
Yeah,
happens?
you're done. Yeah, like, right. So, hey, we can make a Monster Hunter and Zelda game to where you own a dragon. Yeah, Crimson Desert got you already flying on a dragon, and these games like Wukong should not be a success, but it is, right? Because
Yeah.
it actually delivered on what it presented,
Mm-hmm. Maybe a
and so
little
now
jankily, but it still
a
got it
little,
done.
hey, they said, listen, 30 people made the game. Why? Well, I'm like 30 people made the. Suddenly my heart is touched. So if 30 people make a game, you got a 200 plus staff. It's not adding up,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You
I'll feel
know?
that sympathetic. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah. So imagine in the future, press start, select, do a beat 'em up game, right? We got a beat 'em up game that's out.
Mm,
3 guys funded the game. 10 people made the game. Super SS8 Reg drew the drawing for free.
mm.
Now we throw it up. You know
the
what I'm
gra-
saying?
the
We
grassroots of success seems a little bit more like I want to
you
see these
feel me?
guys
Now
win.
now we doing episode 100 with the shades. Tim got shades on. We got Michael Jackson Thriller jackets on. We with the diamond studs from from Who's Bad, like like or Beat It or Billie Jean, like what you
Right. Every 30 seconds is a
or
sponsor ad.
now we sponsoring on Hulu for no reason. Like like I'm just saying like that's what you get when you want to be stagnant. People said, yo, they go ahead and grab the Thanos glove. Fine.
And get you up out of here.
Do it
Mm-hmm.
myself.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Wells said, hey, man, this Pokemon game's getting stagnant. Hey, these guys are just having fun now. What if all they need to do is see that rabbit with the machine guns from Digimon and say, man, what if Pokemon had guns? That's all they needed to do. That's all they needed to
Let's
do.
expand on
Let's
this.
expand, right? Let's give this gun to Snorlax. And now imagine if that game actually has budget and it will get funded.
Mm-hmm.
It will. People can be like, yo, man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna play me some Power World, man, and have fun. And have fun. Now imagine the next. Now if somebody says, yo, Digimon's taking too long to come out with a game, I'm gonna do it myself. And boom, now Digimon is beatboxing. Well, we at the board meetings. Why don't we have a game? Well, you know, and now you beatboxing.
Mm-hmm.
Excuses. Is the stagnation. They think it can't happen to them, and that's when you lose. Did you think King Saul thought he would end it that way?
Mm.
No.
Yeah. There's something to be said about like just sitting on your laurels and just expecting that you can't fail.